So
Mark setting up the Zoom for the YouTube.
really not sure why we do that anymore, but
Well, because
there might
he
be
says we still get people there that watch it. So
yeah. So we're more important than his wife tonight. So
Every no wait a minute. Every night but last week. Every night but last week. How's that?
yeah.
Oh wait, this is on YouTube. I better shut up.
Yeah. That's why I wonder if we should record it. You know?
Hang on, let me de-record
yeah.
Some of the things we say, you know.
I'm surprised at this point, 20 minutes till 7, you don't have 2 or 3 in there with you.
Yeah, I was surprised. I got in here like 5 minutes early, and usually I do that. There's other people, but
I figure you get Ken and you get Mike and you get Denny and 2 or 3 other ones that probably pop in there. They probably will in a minute realize it's already past 6:30 and they hadn't come on yet. They'll pop in there in a minute.
God, I'm lost the name. What was the guy that broke his leg?
Oh. I'll have to think about that one a minute.
Yeah,
Hey, look at that. There's Peter.
That's
No,
another
it's
one.
an imposter.
I
Right.
haven't even heard Peter Law's name now in about a month.
Month.
Maybe I missed the funeral.
No.
At least a month.
Yep. Oh, so how are you, Peter?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. You're looking a little circular there.
Yeah. The Vidicon hasn't warmed up yet. I finally got my stupid Ed Fong DBJ1 up today. So what was
I knew
that?
first.
Was
Time for
that
the
Mark?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Time for the storms to come through.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, so I've got 2 meter and 70 centimeter isopoles that I need to sell now. And I have a diplexer to connect to both of them. So,
But I bought those, didn't I?
huh?
Didn't I buy those?
Well, I just took them down. So if you bought them, you didn't come and get them off my house.
Didn't I
Maybe you
commit to
paid
buy
him for
those? I think I committed to buy those.
Okay.
What'd you say? They were like $1 a piece, wasn't it? No, I don't remember what it was. What were you thinking?
I don't know. We'll talk later.
Okay. Yeah, I love my isopoles and I got 2 of them damaged and
These are genuine AEA isopoles.
Yeah.
Because Time Wave bought them and then they sold that on to somebody else. That's not owned by AEA. Well, there's no AEA anymore, but
So I don't even know what that
actually I
is.
got somebody, I think it was Isadoa had 2 cones that I ended up, no, somebody left them at one of the ham holidays. And I snagged the VHF cones.
the only thing that I can see I mean, these were Fred's N58ZR, right?
I'm R.
He's HZX, sorry. Yeah, I mean, so, and I bought them, good Lord. When did he died right about the time I got here, and his XYL sold off his stuff a couple years later, and Bill got me hooked up, and so they've been up in my air for, I don't know, God, 10 years at least.
I'm sure he bought them same time I bought mine because that was you were either camp isopole or you were camp Ringo dummy load.
The only thing that seems to be missing on these is the lower UHF cone doesn't have its little foam spacer thing, and
Yeah.
So I'm looking at. I didn't know what that was. So that's a brand name basically, Isopole.
Yep.
Yeah, and it was originally sold by a company called AEA that also made the PK232. That company's gone. They sold on the both parts of that business got sold to Time Wave, but Time Wave sold off the antennas to somebody else. I forget who.
Spectral is who owns it now.
Yeah.
What gets
It's a,
me, and I'm a little, I'm not saying you. I mean, obviously they're great antennas. You two are fighting over price on them, but they don't show a picture. On their
well,
website.
they're
All they show
Google,
is drawings, and it looks like two funnels
yes,
on a
yes,
two little narrow funnels on
like
a
the ones you
staff.
made in metal shop when you were a kid. Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
that's exactly what they look like. It's just a weird dipole ground plane thing. I don't know if the
Bringing
cones
that
do
over.
anything, but the good thing is they're kind of, they don't spread out, right? I mean, the radials they don't take up much room, is what I'm trying to say.
And
So,
and the big thing
So-
for me is they're DC short.
yes,
So I was running all kinds of packet and stuff and
24/7.
24/7, 365. And that's why I like the DC short out of it.
So those funnels are the radials.
Yes.
Part of the ground, yeah.
Okay.
They're
That's
not.
interesting.
Yeah, it's. Don't ask me to
Yeah,
explain. I don't know that these are not like magical antennas. They're just antennas.
Right.
Okay.
And there's pictures. If you look to images, there's pictures on the web.
Got images.
You can actually see them, Sam.
Oh, okay. If I
Go to images on image search.
right. Okay. Yeah, I'm in this silly edge thing, and I don't know how to do crap.
Well, I'm in Edge and I'm on Bing, and that's what the first thing I see is pictures of the ice pole. I see the drawings you're talking about, but there's actually, if you click on images on Bing,
Oh yeah. So, man, this one looks huge. I mean, they've got it leaning on a ladder here.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the 2-meter one. Hey, it's got foam in it too. Okay, I don't have the foam for the 2-meter one either.
I'm sure it disintegrated a long time ago.
Oh,
But I
I'm
think I
sure.
got mine in 80. I probably got mine at the 85 Hamfest, and that's
Woo-hoo.
probably when Fred got his too.
Well, you're R and he's X, so yeah,
Well, yeah, we got our test. We took tests the same night.
yeah.
HZR, I was first one. RSTUVWXY. We had no ZZ, and we had IAA, which is Sam Barrett's wife was IAA. So it was in the order you turned your test in. Mine was first, was R,
Yeah.
and Paula's is last.
Well, I got the
That's
bicycles down today. I got the Ed Fong up there, and the damn thing, I couldn't hear anything on it. I tried to key up the damn 06 repeater, and it keyed up, and it was like just moving well, there's no needle on this radio. It's a fake needle, but it kerchunked, and that was it. And I thought, oh God. So I looked at all my cables and realized that I'd labeled my new jumpers wrong behind the radio desk. And so I was able to actually kerchunk the repeater just using the jumper laying on the floor. So
Transmitting off of the nib of the UHF.
exactly. So once I got that fixed, everything worked better.
I'll send that message off to Ed. I'm sure he'll appreciate that.
How's he? Have you heard how he's doing?
I have not. I need to send him a message, and that would be a good thing to tell him. That'd be a fun thing to
Yes, it would.
tell him that we almost had to return, but then we realized.
But then Peter got his labels straightened out, and everything was fine.
Those are pricey little antennas. I wouldn't take
suppose.
more than $5 or less than $5 for them. I mean, if I were you, Peter, based on the new price, even with the foam missing, they're still probably worth $5.
Okay, I'll give him at least 4. How's that?
I'm telling him not to take less than 5.
Honestly, the diplex is probably worth more than these things. If you really did buy these in 80, if they were bought in 85, holy cow, that's 37 years old, 36
Yeah.
years ago.
Hey,
He
and Ken backed me on this. There's nothing wrong with a little age, is there?
That's true.
I
Yeah,
mean, come on.
just ask him.
we all bought them at the same time because you either bought a Ringo Ranger. Monty Bateman bought a Ringo, and he loved it, and the rest of us bought Isopoles.
Yeah.
And he was always complaining and we weren't.
Did he have, see if his jumpers were labeled correctly? 'Cause
Oh, he was real bad about that. He brought some radio, can't remember what it was. He brought it over to the house to test it at my house on an antenna. And
worked great.
it had a VFO attached to it. Can't remember what it was. He plugged the VFO into the it was supposed to be an amplifier output, same exact connector. And he plugged it in there. So when he keyed down the radio, it was doing 12 volts straight to ground. And it just melted the wire on that VFO. And just put smoke everywhere.
Very good.
Magic.
And we were yelling at him, "It's on fire, shut the damn thing off." And he couldn't finish his QSO. He was just talking away. And we finally pulled the power supply. Well, he said, "Oh, I didn't get the ID." I said, "You didn't burn down my house either, knucklehead."
Oh
But
my.
he had smoked the insulation off of 12 gauge wire.
Oh my.
I was pretty proud of my power supply though.
Yeah. I found an article online. These guys are, I thought it was going to have something about the design of the thing, but they're basically talking about how great the Isopole is from 1987.
They were good antennas, man.
Yeah, I got no complaints.
Yeah, we'll work out some deal on you.
Yeah, I'm sure we will.
Because I'd just like them for more nostalgia than anything else, but they're good antennas.
And the program that did the conversion, that's a separate thing. You gotta go get it.
Who else showed up? Oh, look, there's Uncle Ken. Hi, Ken.
Hey, how you guys doing tonight?
Good.
And here's Andrea. She hadn't been on for a
Yes,
while.
there she is.
Hey,
What
Last
did-
time I saw her was at Ozzy's.
Well, man, that's been a while.
Yeah, since Ozzy's doesn't exist.
What's an Ozzy?
I enjoyed going to Ozzy's.
What do you mean it doesn't exist? It didn't open back up?
Oh no, they were not doing well, I don't think, before COVID, and once COVID hit, that was the end of that. So
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry to hear that.
yeah, me too. But
I enjoyed going there.
yep, so did I.
where was that?
At the airport,
I was
Oh,
at the
okay.
airport.
right in the terminal there, just down the street from where we meet.
Yeah, which was really close to where we
Really?
meet at.
Yeah, really convenient.
So speaking of
And
eating,
airplanes.
who's going to the meal on Thursday?
What meal on Thursday?
Me.
Oh,
Ham. Well, no, I was going to say ham holiday. That's not what it's called.
No.
All ham dinner.
All ham dinner. Yeah.
it's in Oklahoma City on 240.
Is that where it is? The same place, right?
Yeah,
I assume it
hibachi.
is.
Yeah.
What?
Hibachi, whatever.
Yeah.
It was actually pretty good, the last one. The one before that, I wasn't really impressed, but I don't know. It was pretty good the last time. Or maybe I was just hungrier. You know, when you're really hungry, you know.
Yes.
You know, even though I've had both of my COVID shots, I still know people that's had their shots and getting sick.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
I
do too.
I've been slowing down.
Me
I'm
too.
staying close to home again.
Me
And
too.
After I get a booster, I may start doing a little more, but I don't want to catch that and bring it home to everybody here. Andrea, you know, is a diabetic.
There
She
you go.
doesn't need it.
Nope.
Well, I'm watching the distance more and I'm masking a lot more, but and not getting too
Nobody
frisky.
else is though, Sam.
Well, but you know, I'll
Yes.
I went to Atwood's recently and Lowe's, and nobody in there had a mask on.
oh, I know. Yeah, it's. But you know, you can only be responsible for yourself, and
Yeah.
you know, the mask protects you from them, just like it protects them from you if
Yeah.
you had it. So
Yep.
you know, I just we went to a wedding the other night. Good friend of ours' son got married, and we went, and they actually had on the invitation that everybody had to wear masks, but
There you go.
I guess my wife and I were the only two with anybody in our name, so we were the only two wearing them, and you know, but we stayed distant and wore masks, and you know,
So,
see what
At
happens.
least, at least Amazon's requiring masks. We have to mask up at work at Amazon.
But,
Oh,
you know,
are
a
you
lot
up at the FC and by the airport?
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
You know,
Yeah, I worked taking care of developmentally disabled, but it didn't pay enough. So I had to go to work at the FC so I could make enough money before I retired.
Well, yeah, I hear you.
You know, even though they've had their shots, they still have to wear a mask.
Yeah, well,
you know, I went and got my oil changed in my Prius the other day, and all the people at the Toyota dealer were wearing them.
good.
Good.
Not the
You
customers.
change oil in a Prius?
Not the not the customers. Customers weren't wearing masks, most of them, except me. But
Yeah.
you know, all the service guys and all the salesmen were all wearing masks, and you know,
Good for them.
yeah.
Where was that at Fowler?
No, Jim Norton up here
Oh,
off
okay.
the expressway.
Oh, you're up in the city. That's right.
Yeah, I'm up here in Piedmont. But yeah,
Yo.
it's
Piedmont. Holy cow! You might as well be in Amarillo.
Yeah. Kingfisher.
yeah.
Yeah, or some other place like that. Yeah.
Hey, Pete, Sam, I remember you saying, I guess a couple of weeks ago that now that you're older, you take more consideration before you make a decision on something. I
Yeah.
just wanted to pass on to you that I tried that and I still screw up.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't. My father-in-law told me that too. He cogitated a lot more as he got older. You know, part of it is I'm too old to redo things. You know, I want to do them right.
I hate redoing.
Oh, I hate it too.
Speaking of which,
Cannot
did you
stand it.
poke another hole in your wall there, Ken?
I had to enlarge the hole.
Enlarge the hole.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got this PVC going through the south wall and the shack here, and I couldn't get anything else through it. So
What have you got, Peter?
I chipped out a corner so I could get the rotor cables and stuff through there.
Yeah.
What do
You
you
know,
got,
our
Peter?
antenna farm is constantly growing.
This is my PA. Get his call sign right. PA0RDT mini whip for
Oh yeah.
medium wave and long wave, and that's my project for tomorrow is to get this up. That's why I took down both isopoles so that I'd have two mounts for antennas.
How high are you going to be able to
BBJ on
get
one.
that?
Huh?
How high are you going to be able to get that?
Above the roof.
Good. Yeah.
The roof's metal, but I can get it up pretty high above the roof. So
You know, I had one of them I'd give to you.
what? Thanks. Now you tell me.
You didn't know you needed it. You have to speak up.
No, I bought this one. There's a bunch of clones on eBay. I was going to buy one. I look on eBay, and there's all kinds of them. Oh yeah, mini whip, mini whip, mini whip. It's like, yeah. And then I realized I'm on a mailing list with what's his name, PA0RDT, the actual guy. And I said, well,
Yeah.
where do I? He says, oh, here, just go to this website, do the PayPal. So that's a
Yeah.
genuine, delivered from the Netherlands.
Yeah, that's probably a good one.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
always before you
so-
buy something, check with Ken to see if he's got it. 'Cause he's got a lot.
Who knew he played down on long waves? Ah,
He plays
Yeah.
everywhere. What are you talking about?
I know.
You have any idea? No, you guys haven't visited.
I haven't visited, but I have an idea.
The Shawnee Club came out and visited, but you guys haven't. But yeah, we have an antenna farm. You understand?
Yeah.
We have 2 towers, right?
I saw the picture of
With
the.
multiple antennae.
I'm moving the EME antenna a little bit further away from the house.
Okay.
And that,
A little closer to the moon.
yeah, closer to the
Okay.
moon.
All right.
And that tripod looking tower that I'm using is 10 foot tall, and it's 36 inches at the base of it. Of course, it comes up to a point. And we put 3 cement piers in the ground this morning. We poured the cement for each leg to sit on. And I'm doing that so that I can have a leveling adjustment, because this thing needs to be vertical, because whenever you rotate the rotator, if your antenna, if you're not vertical, it
Yeah.
will go downhill or sideways or whatever.
Right.
So,
Right.
so I'm trying to get that vertical, and I got my ditch dug and got 3-inch PVC going out to it, and we're waiting for the concrete to dry now.
Yeah.
Then I got to put everything back on that thing and get it all lined up again. And
And you're still running 100 watts to the moon?
yep,
Amazing.
I may improve that a little later, or I may improve my antenna a little later.
Yeah.
I could use
Couple
a little
dozen more elements, or
I've got 220 elements. I may add 2 more. They give me 80 elements.
Mhm.
oh, is that all?
It's awesome. You should have seen it. I mean, he took and
I've seen a picture.
Yeah, he welded it all. You just sitting out on the patio, just sitting there, just a welding away. One
You know,
little
you're
bit at a
visible from
time.
Google
So right
Maps. You
then.
can see your antennas, and you can see the shadows of the
Oh, really?
of the towers. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's, the other night when you were talking about it, I Googled your address, and it's pretty amazing. You can see it from space.
Yeah, it is. Well, you know, our 40 is like awesome, but we're gonna have to take it down because the
The
rotor, we broke the rotor.
The 40 meters
Oops.
The rotor, yeah, 40 meters.
rotatable
Yeah,
dipole, yeah.
yeah,
66-foot long piece of aluminum up there.
yeah.
That was Andrea and I put it up, and it was a real pain to get up there.
You know how we adjusted it? We turned it to where it was like pointing over our patio roof.
One end of it.
And then we built like an A-frame
Scaffold.
scaffolding and climbed up and then made the adjustments and then turned it the other way and made adjustments.
On the other end.
Like up, so
Yeah.
we climb up the ladder to the roof and then climb up that A-frame.
I'd slide that in,
Pretty smart.
in and out until we got it resonant, and rotate it around, do the other one.
Yeah. So our neighbors thought we were pretty crazy. They're like, what the hell are they doing?
Yeah, I'm not sure I don't know that they're not wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
Look, it's John.
Yeah, John made it.
See if-
Okay.
How's everybody doing tonight?
I've been working and I need to go get some food. So.
Let's see if
Bye,
my,
guys.
Yeah, I need to go get some dinner too.
I'm trying to see if my antenna is visible from space, but nope.
Got a QSL card on one of my moon bounce.
Oh, already?
Yeah,
That's fast.
he's in.
Oh, that's the guy in Massachusetts we were
Yeah,
talking about the other day.
Mass,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the long way to Massachusetts, man.
that's a 500,000-mile trip just to
Yep.
get to Mass.
If
Can
you'd
you see
driven it,
that?
it would have been a lot shorter.
Can you even see that?
Nice.
Kinda, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, 432.
Yeah,
EME.
QSO.
That's not your first EME, is it?
No,
Okay.
first one on
First on this antenna.
this band.
Oh, okay.
That was on 2 meters before.
Okay.
And this seems to be a little harder than 2 meters. Of course, when I was on 2 meters, I was buying factory-made M-squared antennas, which are super antennas,
Yeah.
but they're high dollar.
How many elements did you have on two, though?
I had, there were 33-foot boom with 17 elements on them.
And you've got how many on 432? Don't you have like 30 or 40?
Well, I've got 40 right now.
Well, so your beam width is going to be narrower, and that moon isn't changing sizes as far as
No.
we know.
No, but I had 4 of these 17 elements.
Oh,
And-
oh, okay.
Whenever you
Yeah.
whenever you stack 4, 2 horizontal, 2 vertical, you get a better beam width.
Yeah, I was going to say you're getting pretty.
Yeah. Plus I had a solid state 1.2 kW amplifier.
And
You know,
did that help?
oh yeah. Uh,
Did you ever figure out the ERP?
yeah, I did. It was a little over 20 kW. That's a lot.
Yeah. Rattle the windows on the Apollo.
But the thing of it is, you know, the antenna gives you transmit and receive gain.
Right.
That's why you have to have the good antenna for the receive gain.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of them that don't have a lot of receive gain, but they're running 2 kW amplifiers, and they think that makes up the difference. Well, you can hear them, but they can't hear you.
It's helps to push uphill, but it doesn't help with the downhill part.
I know, I guess some of those European countries are allowed to run more than we are here, because there's several of them that's running 2.5 kW.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Wonder if there are any countries that don't regulate.
You mean the USA?
No, I mean like no licenses, no.
No, there's I don't know of any that don't regulate amateur radio, but I think
I think North Korea probably regulates ham radio in that you just don't do it or they kill you. But,
yeah, although there've been operations from there.
I've worked North Korea before.
Oh, do you have the card?
Really?
Yeah, well, if you go to qrz.com and scroll down, you'll see the logbook of the world printout of it.
Wow.
The
it
guy
seems
was
like
he was 4L4 that was
right
in North Korea, and he wasn't on the air very long before they shut him down.
Yeah, didn't he only make like 200 or 300 QSOs or something?
Yeah, and he had a QSL manager in Texas, and so it was easy for me to get a card from him, and I really appreciated that. But they shut him down quick, and they told him that he better get that equipment out of their country, or he was going to jail. And he said, "Okay," you know.
Seems like there was an island in the South Pacific that somebody convinced them to allow 10,000 watts on the amateur band. And I don't remember where that was.
That would be a little bit unnecessary.
Yeah. But I mean, you can do it. I mean, it's the US want to do that, they could do that, but they're not gonna.
Hello, John.
How we doing tonight?
Okay.
You enjoying having evenings off now, John?
Yeah. Well, I had to do, that was extra work. I had to do my day job and then go do that.
Oh, okay.
So I got voluntold. They were shorthanded for the events. That's why you saw me up there so much.
Yeah, you know, most of them, like, you know, the people selling the beer, or most of them have day jobs, and then they go up there and do it for fun, you know.
Yeah, but they make extra money.
Oh yeah, that helps.
Me, I got to do it no matter what. So, but I think they got that issue resolved, hopefully.
Peter, how'd you get that test pattern?
Master Control turns that on when I tell them to. No, I had found it on the web. It's not actually the right. The image that I have is the right format, but by the time it shows up in Zoom, it makes it square, and those aren't square; they're 4x3. But
yeah,
which is annoying because it's a test pattern.
I think channel 4 had that big Indian head on their test pattern back in the day.
Oh, I'm sure that was the standard. I forget if it was RCA or somebody had a standard test pattern. And they did the Indian head to get the grayscale.
Cleveland Indians.
I wondered about that.
Yeah, I mean, that's an engineering thing right there. That was to make sure everything was going out the way you thought it was going out. But
I thought it was just there to tell us that we're going off the air.
well, that's what it became. But early on, that
I
was a
guess that
big
was
deal.
Yeah.
Celebration thing.
Yeah, all those numbers and stuff, that actually means something. Doesn't mean anything to me, but it means something to a 1960 television engineer. So
Right.
So you're about to get all them antennas up and running.
well, I'm getting there. I've got the I've got the Ed Fong up, which is the one I really need to get up. But I really want to get that mini whip up there because it's medium wave and long wave season.
Yeah.
So
You'll be able to monitor. You know, this is getting into the medium wave, long wave season.
that's what I was just saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
yeah.
one of the guys, I just sold another one of my amplifiers, which I quit building them back in the end of the last year.
Mhm.
I've still got guys wanting them, and I still had a few of them around, so I've still shipped a few of them. But anyway, there was a guy, I think he's in Ohio, recently shipped one to, but he told me that just a day or two ago, he decoded his first European station this year on 630 meters.
Oh, very good.
So the band is starting to pick up.
Yeah. Yeah. I've noticed it on medium on AM broadcast, starting to get longer and longer. So,
Yeah.
okay.
That's it.
Well, I need to go. Dinner's apparently on. I may get on here later if you guys are still around.
All right, Peter.
See you guys later.
Have a good night.
See you
Bye.
later.
Yeah, I'm going to be around for a bit. The big Dodgers play tonight.
Oh yeah, that's right. You got to
What,
go.
what do they
watch
play
that.
at 9?
Yeah, that's what I was just looking. I should know, but looks like 9:07 Eastern time.
Oh, that's 10 o'clock. No, so that's 8 o'clock. My
No, it's
fault.
8 o'clock.
8:07. Yeah.
It's 8 o'clock. So
Well, John, did you enjoy the football game?
I did. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I needed a defibrillator.
Yeah. At the first half.
Oh yeah. but it was a blast. You know, people were really good this year. Compared to years prior, I'd say this is probably the most behaved I've seen anybody down there.
That's
So
amazing.
I mean, there you know, there's you know, you get there are people out there that are, but I mean, I think it's probably the busiest but the calmest. Make sense? And I didn't like the drive.
You say you did not?
No,
Yeah, it's never good.
I just
Always construction and stupid drivers.
I'm getting to where I don't want to go on road trips at all.
They drive fast in Texas too, man.
Yeah, it's that stretch when you cross the border. I want to say through Denton. That it seems like when you hit Denton, you hit the city, and you're still about an hour out.
Yeah.
And I get just a lot of people live up there. They commute, you know. So it's a lot of people compared to Oklahoma.
Yep.
well, I think a lot of it, when you're coming home, when you hit the casino, you come across into Oklahoma and you hit the casino, half the traffic gets off at the casino, and
Right.
it really lights up. And maybe it's the other way around. It's all the broke people headed back toward Dallas. Why it picks up right there around Denton, but
Man, I'll tell you what, my wife can never make that stretch of road. She always misses. I think it's you got to stay on 35W.
Yeah.
And she gets confused because she's like, it's not north and south. So I'm like, stay on 35W until we hit.
Yeah.
Every time she goes the other way.
Yeah. Yeah. She's going south, but the road's 35W.
Right.
well, there's also a 35E,
Yeah.
Right. And so,
he goes to Dallas.
Well, I mean, it'll drop you out the same place. It's just it'll be longer. So I don't know.
Well, you got to stop and think about this, John. The whole state of Wyoming population is about like the Oklahoma City metro area.
Yeah.
So traffic is not too bad up there.
Right. But still, it was a lot of fun. That was a blast.
We went years ago, and and it was a lot of fun. But we didn't go to the game.
Right.
We just hung around the state fair and listened to the crowd cheer.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to go.
Yeah.
You can literally.
Well, and a lot of the vendors had big screen TVs. We just walked around the fair. And,
I know.
So.
But we hung around and watched some more college football. It turned out to be a pretty decent evening of college football. So that was fun. We hung around and watched that Alabama A&M game, and that was interesting. Oh,
the funnest part, if you can figure out where all the OU fans go, there are certain restaurants and bars that really cater to the OU people, and afterwards, you go there and it's all OU people.
Well, I did hear Jim Traber get into it with somebody, so that was funny. It was after the game, and I mean that guy has no shame. He told that dude, he told his family he should be ashamed. Is that your father? You should be ashamed of him. I was like, wow. I'm like, that guy's gonna come over the table. But it was a good time. Did anybody go out to the picnic or go to the meeting on Saturday, or how'd that turn out?
I Zoomed the meeting, and it was a good presentation from the guy that owns DX Engineering. And
Really?
Gosh, I forgot about that.
I'll have to go back and watch that.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. You can go in.
So what's it called?
He talked about contesting and stuff. So
I thought it was going to be the Heil microphone guy.
No, that was last
couple of weeks ago.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That was a month before.
Yeah.
But not a couple of weeks, couple of months, but it's been a month. Yeah.
Yeah, he does a good thing. I saw him in person at last Ham Fest I got to go to, but he's something, I've got that somewhere. So he shows a picture of himself, and I don't know if he did it. I missed that meeting when he did his thing, but he shows a picture of himself up on one of his antennas when he was like 18 years old or something like that. And it is crazy. It makes me nauseous just to look at the picture.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that.
It's probably on his website, but
I'm not much of a climber. I leave that to.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, one of my ham buddies the other day at lunch said he'll climb any tower you want him to as long as he keep 1 foot on the ground while he does it. I thought, yeah, that's me. That's me. Let's see if I've got that. But
and then I think Denny had his little luncheon or picnic. I think it was.
Yeah, they had the picnic.
I would have kind of liked to have gone to that, but I'm still kind of worried about COVID.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I had to go to that wedding. So
Phil made me laugh because he said a couple of weeks ago, he said if you kill it, we'll grill it. So that's a good term. I'm gonna keep that one.
What's that?
He said if you kill it, we'll grill it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someday I'm going to make that. I've never made that picnic. It's always.
I think he's out there in Slaughterville. So he'd just be south of me. I don't know where. He's somewhere in the sticks.
I thought it was south of Noble.
Yeah, that's what I'm Slaughterville. Yeah, Slaughterville.
No, Noble.
Oh, I didn't know he was in Noble. I thought he was in Slaughterville.
South of Noble. What? On Banner Road?
He's between Noble and Slaughterville.
I couldn't hear him.
I'm not even sure where Slaughterville is, honestly. I've heard of it.
Slaughterville is north of Lexington.
trying to find that. Well, I've never gotten there, so I can't really speak to where it is. But
So where's it at, Larry? Since you seem to know.
From Noble, you go south to the cemetery, the first road past the cemetery, which is Cemetery Road.
Yeah.
You turn east and go east about
Yeah.
5 or 6
Yeah.
miles.
But that's not Slaughterville.
Huh?
That is not Slaughterville, though. Slaughterville is north of Lexington.
Right.
This is south of Noble.
I think he's still got a Slaughterville address.
Oh, that would be weird because Noble is a, I guess so, yeah. Yeah, I think I understand now. When you go south out of Noble, you do get to Slaughterville before you get to Lexington. So it's not as far south as I was thinking it was.
yeah, maybe next year, guys.
Maybe next year for me too. Maybe the coronavirus will be over with by then.
Well, the new cases have been down the last couple of days, but they do that and then they shoot right back up. So I don't know.
Thank you, Larry.
Sure.
Got a couple of business acquaintances that were vaccinated, but ended up with breakthroughs.
Yeah.
Said it wasn't bad. You know, they weren't, and they didn't worry about dying, but it still wasn't fun. But,
A couple of them that in the Shawnee man and wife in the Shawnee Ham Club both got it.
hey, speaking of Shawnee, since you brought that up, Ken, I'm adding repeaters to my and I know that there's a couple of repeaters. I should have written and made a note on this. There's a couple of repeaters that list Shawnee, and I've heard one of them. I've heard there's a really good repeater over in Shawnee,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure which one it is now.
Okay. It's on 145 190.
Okay.
I had to turn my transceiver on to see. I think that's the one.
Yes.
I mean, there's one that says Shawnee Twin Lakes or something
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
by Shawnee Twin Lakes, which is not very far from me, and
Right.
hit it from inside the house with my handy talkie.
So that's the good one.
Yeah.
Okay.
PL 131.
What was the PL?
PL
131.
131.
Yeah. It's a negative offset. Here it is.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Mhm. Yeah, they have that on the, what kind of tower is that? I like
It's
that.
some big old tower over there.
Yeah.
It's right over that
Yeah.
way.
Oh, I could might have like.
Mhm.
Yes.
Well, I've heard it, it gets a lot of traffic. A lot of people chat on it.
Yeah. This 3/4 of the way up that big old, 250-foot tower.
Hello, Don.
Oh, there's Don.
Hey, good evening, folks. Didn't make it last week, had something else going on. Almost didn't make it this week because I had something else going on. And I realized I'm going to be done about this time. I could check in. You guys will still be here.
Anything new?
Say again, Ken?
Anything new?
No, nothing new. No new holes in the house. I did get around to putting up a TV antenna and putting a hole in for that.
All
And
right.
my goodness, it improved my reception a billion times because, well, I was, I'm sorry about the camera fading in and out. Most areas have gone to all UHF channels. And when we moved here, I could have swore the list of channels I got was all UHF. So I bought this huge UHF bow tie, a 4-bay, or maybe it's an 8-bay. I mean, it might be an 8-bay bow tie, and put it up in the attic because we were kind of getting half-assed reception from a little antenna in the attic. I thought that'd be great. Yeah, the problem is like three of our channels are still on VHF.
I don't think any of ours are here.
I don't think any of yours are either, and none of ours were in Cleveland, and none of ours were in Kansas City. Oh, when I first moved to Cleveland, they were.
I've got a tattle on myself. When I built this house 20 years ago, I hung this TV antenna. It was a pretty nice one. Hung it upside down in my attic, and then everything went digital, and I thought it was useless. And so anyway, I was talking to a guy one day, and I said, I really would like to get a new antenna so I could, like when my cable goes out or whatever, I could still get the weather. And he goes, why don't you use that one you put up in your attic? And I said, well, he goes, it doesn't matter. And I should have known this. I mean,
it's RF is RF, man.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether it's digital or analog.
I'm still using mine, Sam, that I put up when I built this house.
I hooked that antenna back up, and oh my gosh, I mean, I get absolutely.
I've got a big attic antenna, and I get all 4, 5, and 9, and
oh yeah,
all the local stuff.
They blow me out. Then I found
this.
Those are,
even though they're 4, 5, and 9, they're probably all UHF.
Somewhere I have a list, but I'm not sure where.
Yeah, well, you go there.
They're all digital.
You can get that.
Yeah, they're all digital now.
All digital.
And they did shuffle frequencies around some when they did that, but yeah, and then I found this thing that shows me from my house the exact angle to each of their towers, and so the only thing I did is I went up in the attic and turned it about 5 degrees. And oh my gosh, I mean, it's
well, and honestly, most antennas aren't even that fussy in 5 degrees, so you must have been a little bit off. But yeah,
I could get them all, but I just wanted to tweak it in, and you can't aim at all of them. I mean, you gotta.
Because pretty much everything here is between 040 and 055. So if you put it at 45, you're pretty good.
But no.
But we have several. So let's see. Let me make sure
Is Larry working on a radio? He's got a hammer and he's beating on something there.
He's tuning it up.
Well, he's probably got gnats in the shack, or maybe horse flies.
He's tuning up that heat kit.
I was gonna say house flies you can't get with a hammer, but gnats and horse flies if you're quick enough.
Sam, I'm just amazed at how many channels we have here locally.
Yeah. So if I'm correct here, that's north. So if I've got that antenna pointed forward 45, but there are, and these stations are actually only about 15 miles away. So.
Oh, you should.
Yeah, I needed an antenna that would receive VHF. That was the problem. It didn't. The UHF bow tie just wasn't long enough. It wasn't getting enough signal. And maybe it was because it was in the attic. But then there's also, let me get that right. Yeah. There's also some stations at about 135 azimuth at about 25, 30 miles, which and they're all UHF. So if I take that bow tie, put it outside the attic up on the roof, run both of those into a splitter or a splitter combiner, I'll have some spare TV stations. We did that in Kansas because we had a low power UHF that was about 15 miles from us, completely in a different direction. So I put a UHF antenna up, just pointed, dedicated at that, ran both of them into a, what we would call a splitter, but they make fine combiner. So yeah. Anyway.
Hello, Phil.
Hello, Phil.
Good evening, Mr. Senate.
There, hi there.
What's new with you, Phil?
Well, I spent the afternoon with one of Don's cohorts over at St. Louis, Missouri.
Wow.
Anybody I know?
Lee Bonart.
Maybe.
He's a ham.
We can't be bad then.
He took over from the girl that retired over there, and the site was quite a mess. So
Okay.
we had some cleaning up to do.
Well, they got 5,000 or 6,000 or something else.
6,000.
6,000. Okay.
We got the repeater site between St. Louis Lambert and the T75 Tracon.
Oh, so that's kind of important.
And then the repeater site's also a RAG site.
Oh, so that's split in, cut in, whatever you want to call it.
Split in, yes.
Yes. Broke out, broke in, however you want to call it. Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of drop and insert there.
Thank you. Thank you. That's what I meant.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been out of that game. So yeah, I'm looking at a couple of new gigs here. I think I don't know if I told you, I'm working from home right now until December.
That's good.
Working with policy, NAS policy folks. Yeah, believe it or not, I'm working with NAS. I do wear a better shirt when I do that.
You work with NAS policy?
NAS policy, yeah. Yeah. Headquarters.
Yes.
Yes. National Airspace System Policy. We're doing fundamentals of documentation. So what we're doing is we're doing documentation training primarily for newer folks that haven't been introduced to it yet, or have been maybe introduced but need some help. You know, it's one of those new hire training requirements.
So you're going to teach us how to write documents?
I don't write them.
I do.
But it's the same. It's still AJW 16.
Yeah.
I'm actually part of AJW 1600, but
that's all part of a tech center.
Oh yeah. Well, DC.
Yes. Or DC.
Working with Low and Overby regularly.
Everybody knows Low and Overby.
You know, I didn't until just I never really knew him till I started this detail.
He taught me the increasing NAS knowledge class.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say he was the one that taught us grounding and bonding.
Quite possibly. And we're just boring the crap out of everybody else here because they have absolutely
We're boring the crap out of everybody.
We don't care. Hey, it don't bother me a bit.
Oh, I know. So anyway, I'll make this short. I have applied for a job instructing ASR, which would be with the same, because they've actually moved. Field instruction is actually under AJW 16 also. And so they actually moved us from policy to field instruction because that's what we're doing. So I've applied for an ASR instructor gig under field instruction. Not sure how that's going to work out because somebody's got to decommission an ASR 9 before we can use it to train with.
Yeah.
Also, comma, I'm looking at moving from Indianapolis to Cleveland.
Back where you were.
Indianapolis SOC.
You were at Cleveland Airport when I met you.
Oberlin SOC. I did a detail there before. I got buddies. 8 of the 14 people I worked with there when I was there are still there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the manager is one of the noms I worked with when I was there. So yeah.
Yeah.
And I had a nice long 25-minute chat with him, of which 20 minutes was just bullshitting. So yeah. Like he said, like he told me, he said, Don, no guarantees, but put in for the job.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you get it.
Well, I kind of hope I do too. It's going to be a pain in the butt if I get it, because I'm going to have to, commute up there once every week or two and I'm going to have to find an apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not just a long stay hotel, but find an actual apartment or a small house to buy, because we're not ready to move from Indy yet. We really like this place. We put a lot of money into it, a lot of work into it. And
You have a nice place. Yeah.
oh, it's a nice place. I just need to put some damn antennas up.
Yeah. Oh, you actually have a yard to put an antenna.
Yeah,
You
I
don't have
know.
that
I mean,
in Cleveland.
I could at least get 40 meters up here, if not 160.
Yeah. First TDY I ever worked was the Cleveland Long Range Radar.
Yeah.
That spent a week with a guy up there. He had a primary shut completely down.
Mm.
No Archer 1/2.
Yeah. That was the only radar I ever worked on that actually came close to intimidating me.
Yeah. Well, yeah. When you open the cabinet on those things, and you see that big magnetron, that's intimidating.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, when you can walk it, when you see me, maybe I'm just sensitive, but I could walk in when I went through the training class, I could walk in the classroom lab and I could tell you whether the radar was running or not.
Okay.
And it wasn't because it wasn't the sound.
Could you feel it?
I could feel it.
Yeah. And they didn't have a leak in their waveguide.
No. It was, yeah. I mean, those things run at a few hundred hertz, and that wasn't even it. It was just, there's just something about that low level hum.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now, y'all think I'm totally nuts. We probably already do anyway. But I used to live north of Cleveland Hopkins Airport, which is also north of a NASA aerospace facility, NASA Glenn.
Okay.
And I'm not sure exactly what it was, but my understanding was that they had some wind tunnels or rocket testing tunnels or something that went underground. Because there was some nights that I heard a low frequency rumble at probably a few hertz. I won't say heard so much as felt. And didn't get that in Kansas. I don't get it here. So never got it as a kid. Yeah, it's there was something going. Well, I think they were firing either firing rocket engines or firing a wind tunnel into like a basically muffler chamber underground, because you couldn't hear it, but you could feel it. So there's my tinfoil hat moment for the evening. It was one of these days I'm going to prove that.
I'm trying to set up for Aries.
Yeah. I have a little ADS-B receiver that I played around with a little bit, with just a little antenna here in the rim, and it works well enough for near stuff, but I think I need to get one outside, but because I'm always curious when I hear something outside and it's real loud as to what it is. But at least if I had that, I could just look on the computer and say, oh yeah, that's this helicopter or that helicopter or whatever. I mean, a lot of what we get is like medevac stuff. And you can kind of tell whether they're going back to the station or to and from the hospital by how fast they're moving and how low they're going.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but we also get some interesting things. Will you stay in focus, damn it? Cargo Lux runs a 747 in and out of here once or twice a week. Also big boss. Cargo Lux, Luxembourg.
Oh,
Yeah. It's a 747, freight 747.
and they can put it down in your airport.
You're right. Yeah, Indy. Yeah, right. Indy Airport. I'm only, as the crow flies, I'm probably only 3-4 miles from Indy Airport.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't normally see it this way. Normally they bring it in from they prefer to land from the, let's see. Is that the northeast to the south? Whatever. They prefer to land on 2-3. But
Well, is that going to limit your antenna height?
oh, not at all. Not at all. I've got trees way, way, way higher than I will ever put an antenna up. And power lines.
So you're well shielded by all that.
Yeah, unfortunately. What is with this camera today?
Your camera's going in and out.
I know. I'm watching it. Yeah. Maybe I.
Turn the autofocus off. That's better like that.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going in and out now.
Stay right there. You're perfect. Okay, turn your autofocus off and then sit still.
Yeah, I got to figure out how to turn the autofocus off on this thing.
On mine, it's a function of the camera driver software. No, the
Oh yeah, I don't have it. I don't actually
Or
have a camera. I don't have a camera driver loaded for this sucker. Well, it has a touch up my appearance. Well, that doesn't help, does it?
Well, I don't know, it might.
Well, you could use all the help you can get, can there? So could I, but
That's pretty solid now.
yeah, we'll see. Well, I took a dirty tissue and wiped the lens off, so no, it was a clean one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're this weekend, next week, we're doing a training class for some folks out in the Pacific and out in Guam. So we're not even starting this class till 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So
You know, I was stationed on Guam. but
yeah,
That was my last overseas tour while I was in the Air Force. And after years later, when I was doing moon bounce, I worked the station on Guam via 2-meter moon bounce.
wow, nice. How'd you like it out there? It sounds
Guam, it was all right.
interesting.
We had a lot of time off, and we used to do scuba diving in the channel where the ships came in. They're at the Organa, whatever the capital is.
Yeah.
And it was a good place to dive. It was deep. And of course, it was open to the ocean. So occasionally we'd see some sharks in there, but not too bad.
Sounds good. Yeah, it's one of those things.
Yeah.
That sounds.
It was, you know, you go scuba diving on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
tropical.
Yeah, I mean, this is our first day of doing this class, and the guys are already telling. There's a couple guys that's like, yeah, I moved out here and I love it. I'm staying.
Well, when we was there, it was, you know, a lot more primitive than it is now.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
I've talked to some people. As a matter of fact, my granddaughter was stationed there. She's already, she was in for 6 years in the Air Force, and she was stationed there. She worked in a bomb dump. But she said now they got high-rise hotels and everything there. And whenever I was there, the tallest building was probably 3 stories, you know.
Well, yeah, and we weren't sure whether we were going to run into you because doing this Zoom online training gig, we've run into a lot of people with internet issues. We had 0 people with internet issues today.
Yeah.
0. I saw more lag on my end than they saw on their end. So obviously they've got a good feed of some kind going to the island, and then the island's not that big, so they probably get it built out real well.
It's 30 miles by 15 miles.
Right, exactly.
I've been all over that place.
Well, it probably doesn't take very long.
No.
Sounds like Bonaire where we go scuba diving.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? You've been there to Bonaire?
Several times, yeah.
I don't think that's even that big, is it?
I don't know. It's about the size of Piedmont. I figured out one time, but has fewer roads.
I was going to say, isn't Bonaire about like 2/3 salt flats or something?
Yeah, they have a big salt mine, not mining. They bring in seawater and dry it out in these big big drying beds, and salt's a major thing, and has been. Actually along the beach there are slave quarters from back when they used slaves to do that work.
Oh, okay.
These little slave huts that the slaves lived in.
Okay. Yeah, I guess when I was looking at that, I was looking at it more than the more like for the Radio Nederland transmitters that used to be down there. I don't know if they're actually still running shortwave, but I think TWR is running down there too, though. Transworld Radio.
There was this, and I don't remember what it was called, but there is this huge dish antenna. I mean, it's really impressive. Got these towers and then cables that lead down to this dish that hang,
Arecibo, that's in Puerto Rico.
And
no, he's this is Bonaire.
Oh,
yeah, it's in Bonaire. And
Bonaire,
but I did some research, and apparently it's been shut down now for a number of years.
Well, Radio Nederland was in Bonaire for years and years and years and years, and I think Trans World Radio, now they may not still be there, which was a religious Christian broadcasting station. They were there too, and I don't believe they actually. I believe they all had separate facilities. But yeah, I thought TWR was still down there.
Well, I was talking to a gentleman not too long back who spent like, gosh, who was it? Anyway, he spent like a year in Bonaire. There's a big radio station there, and he was there. His company replaced the transmitters at this big radio station, but that radio station is down like south of the airport. It's down by the salt drying.
Yeah. It was because you could tell it was like salt flats. Where the
it was down there, but I can't remember.
I'll bet you it was one or the other.
He was Yeah, he was saying that he was a ham and he could somehow hook up to the big tower and made a lot of contacts from Bonaire. But where is I'm looking at the Bonaire map here. I'm going up.
Yeah, I am too.
But that one was down south, right by the
Or it
salt
could have
flats.
just been a regular old radio station. But yeah, I would imagine if you had an in with one of the shortwave stations and you could get on one of the antennas when they were off the air, because most of those did not broadcast 24/7.
Yeah, the one I'm thinking of is called on the maps called Radio Nederland.
Yeah, radio. Yeah, Radio Nederland or Radio Netherlands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's up north, more desolate part.
Yeah, it was on. Yeah, that was on the north side, if I remember correctly from looking out on the map.
Well, it's the island it's on kind of the south side of the island. I mean, it's on the north end of the island, but it's the beach. The island curves around right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty massive, and this is long before I was a ham. But
let's see if I can find a good picture here.
Yeah, I don't know if
okay. Yeah, I'm. Yeah. Okay. I was thinking it was more triangular. Apparently, it's not.
Yeah, it is. There's 3 towers.
And, no, I mean the island itself.
Oh.
No, the island's more shaped like a bone or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of long and narrow, and it kind of bends there in the middle.
Yeah, yeah. I obviously I must have been looking at this just the south part of the island.
But anyways, lovely place. Actually, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day that they've had that island just locked down.
Well, yeah,
they've had 0 corona because they've not allowed anybody to come or go.
Yeah, and Puerto Rico did the same thing. Guam, and they still got some, but Puerto Rico kind of did the same thing. Guam did the same thing. From the guys I'm talking to, they locked that down fairly well.
Yeah, and he was actually supposed to check and see where they were on that, and maybe we were going to plan a trip, but he never got back to me, so I'm just assuming that they were still locked down at that time. That was back in July or August we were talking about that.
Yeah. Now is Radio Nederland way down on south of the airport?
The what?
Salt Flats?
Yeah, they're south of the airport. Airport's right there just south.
Yeah, I see the airport. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the salt flats are all the way down on the south end of the island down there.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm probably just not seeing them from seeing the towers, if they're even still there. I thought that they had actually shut their shortwave down.
Yeah, it's hard to.
A lot of countries have shut their shortwave down because it's just they feel they can get out better.
Now, here's something called Bonaire Voice of the World.
Where's that?
Okay, that is just north of the salt flats, south of the airport.
Okay.
Actually, quite a ways.
Let me get a better map here.
If you come right off the west end of the airport, like the runway,
yeah,
and go straight south, right before you get to the salt flats. And if you're zoomed in just right on Google Earth, you can see.
Yeah, and see that's the thing is, I'm using DuckDuckGo maps, and they aren't very well labeled. So let me get Google going here. At least regular old Google Maps will have it. But yeah, that was always one of those places I thought would be cool to visit and or even get a job on.
Yep. Bonaire's pretty nice.
Of course, Cargill owns the salt. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought
they own the salt in Cleveland too.
Honestly, the first time I went to Bonaire, we got there at 3:00 in the morning, and it was dark. And the minute I got off the plane, my glasses fogged up like they've never fogged up before
Oh
in
yeah,
my
I
life.
bet.
And then the mosquitoes that I couldn't see because of my fog glasses started eating me. And the airport is all wide open. There's no inside to the airport. It's like a big carport.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah, I've
you
been
know,
to places like that.
and so, it's like concrete walls and this concrete ceiling. And so there's no protection from the mosquitoes. And there is 3 o'clock in the morning and they were just eating the heck out of me. And I thought, what kind of what have I gotten into here?
Well,
But,
you volunteered for it.
But once you get there and, once the sun comes up, it's beautiful and there's a breeze and I love the scuba diving. And
That's cool.
there's a shelf right along. We always scuba dive on the west side of the island. The currents on the east side, the north side are pretty bad. You got to be really careful up there.
Okay.
You'll get drug out to sea or beat to death, one or the other. And but on the east side, it's pretty nice. And I'm sorry, the west side. And if you look at Google Maps, you can see this shelf. It's like blue.
Uh-huh.
And it's like about 60 feet down.
Oh, okay.
You see that blue that looks like a halo around? That's that shelf, and that's about 60 feet. And just beautiful scuba diving. And then you go out a little further. I mean, it drops off to infinity out there. It's like, and there's a ship. It's more toward the south. It's down past the airport. There's a ship out there that called the Hilma Hooker.
Yep, I see it.
At 100 feet. And yeah, so I didn't even realize I was on here. But anyway, it sits at about 100 feet.
Yeah,
and,
it's on. There's a link to it on here. Well, it's not really a link to it, but it's.
Yeah, it looks on this like it's looking like it's on the shore, but it's not. It's out.
Yeah, I'm sure it's out a ways.
And it's sitting right at 100 feet, and it's a nice dive. But we've gone down to it, and they've got a buoy out there, so you can just
okay,
go
I
to the buoy.
So the world there's right not too far from that.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Just to the east of that.
What kind of a ship is it, Sam?
Well, it's a fairly small cargo ship that apparently got broke down right off the island out there, and the crew apparently swam to shore, just left it, and turns out it had some kind of DRUGS on it, and so the government went out there and kind of took all the drugs and brought them to shore, and then mysteriously, like the next night, the ship just sunk. And it's laying on its side down there, and it's a pretty cool dive. I don't do nitrox or any of that stuff, so I had going down there, I had 3 minutes of bottom time.
Yep.
Oh.
And plenty of time to come up and decompress and everything. So we went down and had just enough time to swim from the bow to the stern, and took my picture kind of sitting on the propeller, and then we had to head up, and it was but that's actually the deepest dive I've ever intentionally made. Was
I just posted a link to the Wikipedia on that, so if you believe the Wikipedia or not, it's up to you. But
okay,
yeah, because that's all. Yeah.
But it's I would love. I'll read that. Yeah, but anyway, I will. It's a fun dive, and 240 feet long. Let's see what. But I much prefer shallower dives where I can stay down there more.
Okay. Well, that Bonner Voice of the World, the actual picture is TWR, which is Transworld Radio.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's TWR. Yeah. Yeah. It's just amazing how anybody can afford to run a shortwave station in today's you know. And there, every once in a while, new ones pop up. I've been kind of following the shortwave listening community, despite the fact that my noise level here is stupid crazy loud, and I'm really going to need something noise canceling to be able to listen to anything. But the first thing I need to do there again, I need to put a hole in the house. Put a hole in the house, either stick a amplified loop up or a noise canceling vertical with a noise canceling, a dual antenna with a noise canceller on it.
DJH, this is 838, you're coming across full quality. Thank you very much. AF5 DJH, standing by.
Guys, I'm going to sign off of here. It's been great, but the ball game starts in about 10 minutes, and I'm gonna.
Okay, Sam.
Okay. Who's playing?
The Dodgers and San Francisco.
Okay.
Yeah, Dodgers got beat 1-0 last night. It was, but, they lose tonight, they're done.
Yeah.
But,
I'm gonna have to get out of here too, guys. So.
All right, guys. Yeah, I think I'm going to call it. I appreciate you tolerating me for a little while.
Oh, it's always good to see you.
Oh, it's always good to be here.
Next week.
Trust me. Oh yeah, we'll try this next week. Next week I'm back on a semi-normal day schedule. So this is a 2-week class I'm doing, but we're overlapping them. So I'm going to the next one next week. So whatever. Don't ask me to explain it.
Well, there's Galen, so let's all sign off. Make him feel guilty. Hi, Galen. Bye, Galen.
Hey, guys.
Make him feel good.
Hey, can you hear me? I don't know if my audio is working tonight. And maybe not.
It's working here.
Oh, okay, cool, thanks. So I have a stupid question for the group if you're not in the middle of some other hot discussion.
I think most of everyone signed off. I'm here, but.
Well, yeah. So I have a Heil ProSet 7 headset. Can I use that as a computer headset too? I know I can listen. I just wasn't sure. I guess I'd have to get a Y of some sort to plug in, wouldn't I?
You know, what kind of mic does your Heil have?
I've got both the one for the ICOMs that's got the lower or higher, whichever it is, and then the regular one.
Is it dynamic or electric?
I don't know, without looking. But I'd have to build a cable, wouldn't I? Because it's got separate input now, or mic and speaker.
What you might look for is a USB sound card. You can get them.
Promote the areas program for the
RCA input. You can get them with quarter-inch input. With 1/8 inch. Variety. You can even get a small bell ringer, 4 or 5 port mixer that's basically a sound card interface, and it's got XLR inputs, quarter-inch inputs.
Okay, yeah, I hear what you're saying. I just had the thought about 2 minutes ago and hadn't really had any time to think it through. So, but yeah, that's well, cool. So I guess all the rest of them on this bailed out. So I saw Sam and Dawn.
Yeah. Sam was going to watch a baseball game. And then the rest went ahead and bailed.
Aries net is activated for emergencies. Please, everyone, we don't need the shit chat on there or anything. If you have a actual damage report or weather report with a meter device.
Sorry,
like that, that's what the weather service wants. We want actual damage reports and not tying up the repeater, because if somebody has an emergency to call in, if the repeater is tied up, they can't get through. So
bless you,
please
Jim.
keep that in mind. And we're expecting to have more severe weather overnight tonight, so that's a possibility. This is KGBIM, and I'll go ahead and get started with the roll call.
Yeah.
A5.
One thing about having Jim as net control, and I'm last on the list thanks to my W call sign. It'll be 20 minutes before it gets to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't take me very long to turn the ham rig down the other night when I was at the EOC. I don't know how many times we tried to suggest to Phil and to everybody else, emergency traffic, severe reports only, and then the next thing you'd hear, it's raining. So, all right, well, doesn't look like they've got, well, maybe there's a few of them over there. It looks like they've only got 4 or 5 at. Well, I think I'm going to bail out too. I'm afraid I'm going to have to be back up at 3 a.m. So, Larry, good to see you, man.
Good to see you.